Hey boys and girls, Module 2, Lesson 11, Multiplying Decimals video here. We covered this in class today, but this is being put up in case you need to look back at the lesson. We are going to look at part of the exercises that we didn't actually do in class today, and I'm just going to go over how we would multiply decimals using the standard algorithm. So the first one, number 3, Gunner's car gets 22 4/10 miles per gallon, and his gas tank can hold 17 82/100 gallons of gas. How many miles can Gunner travel if he uses all the gas in his tank? So we have 22 4/10 times 17 82/100. So I actually don't want to write that this way. Oops, let me get the eraser. I want to put the 17 82/100 on top. So let me do that over. 17 82/100 times 22 4/10. I prefer the one with fewer digits on the bottom, makes your multiplication easier. So remember, we like to estimate. So I'm going to show that this is approximately 18, and this is approximately 20. So my estimate is going to be, let me see, 20 times 10 would be 200, and 20 times 8 would be 160. So my estimate is going to be about 360 miles. Okay, so now let's do our multiplication. Let's start with the tenths here. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 8 is 32. Bring the 3 up here. 4 times 7 is 28. Plus 3 is 31. Bring the 3 up here. 4 times 1 is 4. Plus 3 is 7. Now we're going to go to this 2 here. So we need one placeholder. That is a funny looking 0. I'm going to cross these 2 out because I already used them. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 8 is 16. Carry the 1. 2 times 7 is 14. Plus 1 is 15. Carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Plus 1 is 3. Now we're going to the next 2. So we need 2 placeholders. And if you remember, since we're multiplying 2 again times all of that, you can just copy down those numbers. You just need to move them over. Now we need to add all of these up. Remember, we also talked about keeping everything lined up neatly. I really want this pen to be a little thinner. I could have done a neater job, but you know how to make sure everything's lined up nice and neat. So we have 8. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 and 4 is 10, and 1 more is 11. Carry the 1. We have 7, 8, plus 5 is 13, plus 6 is 19. Carry the 1. We have 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 1 more is 9, and we have 3. Now remember, we said our estimate was going to be about 360, so we have 399 if I put my decimal there. So that's close. Now, to know for sure how many place values we need after the decimal, we look up here. We have 2 decimal place values in our first factor and 1 decimal place value in our second factor. So our product needs to have 3 decimal place values. And here we have it. 1, 2, 3. Of course, you can check with a calculator if you need to check your work, but I would say he can probably go 399 168 thousandths miles. Or you might just say 399 or 400 miles. So our next problem, the principal of East High School wants to buy a new cover for the sand pit used in the long jump competition. He measured the sand pit and found the length 29 2/10 feet and the width is 9 8/10 feet. What will the area of the new cover be? whenever we're figuring out area, it is length times width. So I am going to do 29 2/10 times 9 8/10. So this is going to be approximately 30 and 10. So we're looking at an estimate of around 300 square feet. So let's do our math. 8 times 2 is 16. Bring the 1 up here. 8 times 9 is 72 plus 1 is 73. 8 times 2 is 16 plus 7 is 23. And remember, when we're doing our partial products down here, we have no decimals. No decimal until our final product. Now we need one placeholder here, and let's go to the 9. 9 times 2 is 18. Let's cross that one out, cross that out. I forgot that. 9 times 9 is 81, plus 1 is 82. Put the 8 up here. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 8 is 26. That one was much shorter than the last problem we had to do, and the ones we had to do today in class. So we add 6. 8 plus 3 is 11. 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 7, 8, and 2. Now remember, I said our estimate was at 300, so I'd put my decimal here. It's 286. Now, if I wasn't using my estimate, I would say there's 1 decimal place value in my first factor. There's 1 decimal place value in my second factor. So in my product, there needs to be 2. And here we go, 1, 2. So basic standard algorithm for multiplication of decimals. You just need to make sure you place your decimals in the correct place, first by thinking about your estimate, and secondly by checking how many decimal place values are in each factor and ensuring that is how many decimal place values you have in your product. So our answer would be 286 16/16 square feet. All right, that's all for this video. Don't forget, hit that like button and make sure you subscribe.